Good evening and welcome to the final word with me, Rory Jennings, alongside former Crystal Palace player and Tottenham fan Darren Ambrose. We've just seen Tottenham pick up a big 3 points against Crystal Palace, who stumbled to another league defeat. Tottenham fans, it's a normal service on a Sunday. It's a big win, but is the jury still out on Thomas Frank? Are you, Thomas Frank, in or out? Let us know. 03717 223344. And Crystal Palace fans, are you worried about your form, especially with the Sharks circling Mark Gahey? 03717 223344. Elsewhere, we have to talk about the brilliance of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He scores again as Leeds United pick up a point at Sunderland to go 7 points clear of the drop. Leeds fans, tell us, how happy are you with your talisman? Later in the show, we're going to be discussing all of Saturday's games. Yes, that means Chelsea's defeat against Aston Villa, which I am really looking forward to. And are West Ham about to change their manager again? West Ham fans, let us know. Surely you don't want to change now. Surely, if you were to list 100 problems at West Ham United, Nuno Espirito Santo is not one of them. Remember, talkSPORT is now bigger than ever. We're on YouTube and on your smart TVs. So come and watch us live from our fantastic 17th floor studio. But for now, it's all about you, your views. So call us right now to have your say on the final word phone-in. Darren Ambrose.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I am.
Can't get on with these earphones. That's the issue with me.
Struggling with the in-ear buds.
Yeah, but it's in vision now.
You're an old school man. You want the big cans.
Want the beats.
Yeah,
Shower beats.
Absolutely. You've just watched Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Crystal Palace
wasn't great, was it? Wasn't great.
No, but from a Tottenham perspective at the moment, the only thing that matters is a victory. You know, there are some clubs, and they're in very privileged positions, where it's all about, are you seeing the ideology of the manager? Are you seeing development? Are you seeing the mercurial players who cost a lot of money shining? At other clubs, it's just about finding a way to accrue the 3 points.
Yeah, I think it was today, especially for Thomas Frank, especially for the Spurs players. I think to go away at Selhurst Park, it's a tough place to go. It really is. Obviously, I know that. I've played there. And before the Liverpool game, I said about Thomas Frank that I just felt those 3 games could be the 3 games that either saves or loses his job. And I'm very much Thomas Frank in. I don't want to see any changes again. Like, we can't just keep sacking managers. I'm sure I'm in the minority there when I say that. Just speaking to, obviously, Perry Groves and Crookie, who was doing the comms, I agree to a certain extent of what they said, that I can't really see a style of play at the moment. And I think Thomas Frank needs to, one, get rid of the Brentford tag that I still feel he has. I still feel he has that Brentford mentality where he goes out to not lose as opposed to win. But today I see a different style in terms of they saw the game out. That's the positive I could take out of it.
Today has to be seen as being a satisfying victory. It has to be seen as...
I thought they defended really well, and they had chances at the end. Odobert hitting the post.
Danso won everything.
Yeah.
Whatever Crystal Palace threw into the box, Danso got his head on it.
Yeah.
Like, you could have crossed in. It got to the stage, didn't it, where if Crystal Palace had crossed in a washing machine, Danso would have headed it out.
Yeah, I think he's been a good signing, Danso. I do. And obviously with Van der Ven and Romero, they're the first two. They're the two that's going to be playing. But every time he comes in, whether he plays in the 3 or the 2, as he did today, I feel he does a really good job. I just feel Spurs saw the game out really well. They had a couple of goals disallowed.
Yeah, 2 goals disallowed at Selhurst Park.
A bit lazy from the players, really. I think Richarlison a bit lazy to be offside. I think Bergvall in the first one didn't need to be offside. I know he made the run and he kind of turned out to, but he didn't need to. And it could have been more comfortable. I didn't feel that Spurs were in any danger of conceding, in all honesty. And they've got a lot of injuries, Spurs. And no one, I'm not this person to use them as excuses, but there are a number of injuries. When you lose your top players, which Spurs have, and then today, of course, with Simons and Romero being suspended, you have to see games out like that, and that's exactly what they've done. And
listen,
the 4
Darren,
points off Chelsea.
There is nobody more than me would enjoy now to really drag Tottenham over the coals, say that it wasn't good enough. But I genuinely think it was. You've gone away to a London derby. It's a very difficult place to go. Okay, there is certainly an argument that Crystal Palace are running on fumes at the moment, but you've gone away to a tough away ground.
Yeah.
You've had 2 goals disallowed. You've got the 3 points. You've seen your young kid score his first goal for the club. This can only be seen through the lens of being a good day for Tottenham.
You know what? Look, I'll talk about Crystal Palace in a moment because, of course, I've got an affiliation with them. But Spurs are the only team, the only side that I want to see beat Crystal Palace in the Premier League because I'm a Tottenham supporter, and that's the reason. So, yes, I'm delighted that they saw the game out. They're 4 points off Chelsea in 5th place. It's crazy that, really, when you think how the negativity around Spurs, the league table's crazy. They're in 11th place, 25 points. Chelsea in 5th place, 29 points. It can turn in a few games.
I know. Well, it's always, the league table is crazy, isn't it? You've got to think, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about Liverpool genuinely being in crisis.
Yeah.
We were talking about Liverpool potentially having to sack their manager. They're above Chelsea. Manchester United have been in all sorts of perilous positions this season. And it feels like Manchester United are still just one game away from a crisis.
Yeah.
Level on points with us. We're level on points with Chelsea.
Look, it's crazy. The league table is crazy. Look, Wolves got 2 points. That I think they're in danger, Wolves, of the Derby record. I really do. But as you said, I think it's mental to say that it could be a 3-horse race, including Aston Villa in that, by the way, because what Unai Emery, I know we're going to get onto that later on in the show, but what he's doing at that football club is remarkable.
He's a genius.
But I think to a certain degree, and I have said this before, and I'm guilty of it as well, we need to remember as Spurs supporters how poor it was last season in terms of the league campaign. 17th. If it weren't for 3 of the poor teams that got promoted from the Championship, Spurs would be in the Championship this season.
Yeah.
In the majority of other seasons, and they'd have got relegated. Yeah. Yes, they won the Europa League, which nothing can take that away from them. I think as Spurs supporters, we deserve that moment. It's been a long time coming. But to be sat 4 points off of 5th place, a potential Champions League spot, which I think it will go down top 5 again this season, I think you'd have taken that.
But you see, this is the interesting thing. When I look at Tottenham, when I look at what's going on there, you think about where they were last year and that trophy, winning that trophy. I know it was glorious, beating Manchester United in a European final. It is something that will live forever, right? It's massive, massive deal for Tottenham Hotspur. But it half papered over a lot of cracks at that club. So when you think about that, when you think about where Tottenham were, looking from the outside in, feels to me that it's kind of moving in the right direction for Thomas Frank. Can you help me understand why is there this hostility towards him from some, and perhaps I'm not wrong here when I say a majority of Tottenham fans?
Yeah, I think you're not wrong. And that's what I said when I'm saying I'm backing Thomas Frank. I want him to be the manager for at least this season. I think I'll be in the minority. And I think he's, to a certain degree, maybe a victim of last season and how bad it was. So as soon as we seem to have turned a corner and get a couple of wins on the bounce, we then go and get a stupid result and it's all back to being negativity. I think the home form as well has not helped him in terms of that. I think there's a real air of nervousness in terms of when Spurs are playing at home. And I think they just need to come away from that. I've always said in Thomas Frank, he deserves an opportunity at a bigger club. And Spurs were a bigger club than Brentford, and he deserved that. And I'm not going to go back on that now because it's not gone as well as everyone has hoped. But when you say that it's papered over the cracks, the win of the Europa League, I don't think it did. I don't think it did paper over the cracks. And Postecoglou got sacked after that. So the club certainly knew what was wrong and what was going on. And they felt that Thomas Frank, an experienced Premier League manager that's done remarkable things at Brentford, deserved that opportunity as everyone. And I don't think there was anyone at the time concerned about that appointment. But I'd like to know, if I am in the minority, I'd like to know of Spurs supporters, not only do you want them out or do you want him out, who comes in? Who comes in before the 1st of January to get a transfer window? Who comes in to change what's going on at the moment? Why is it not better that we give this manager that deserves the opportunity, another opportunity at the transfer window to get backed, to sign some players that fit his system, that fit what he wants to do, and see where this season goes? I don't understand why there are people calling for Thomas Frank's head.
Well, there we are. Let's see if any of those Tottenham fans, if you are a Tottenham fan who isn't necessarily singing from the same hymn sheet as Darren, if you're a Tottenham fan who thinks that Tottenham could be elevated by a change in manager at this stage of the season, we would love to hear from you. And if you have someone in mind, we'd love to debate it. So please do get in touch. It's 03717 223344. Tottenham fans, get in touch. Let us know what you think. This is the
Final word.
Final word. This is talkSPORT, and this is the final word. I am currently sat alongside Darren Ambrose, and we are going over the events of Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur. I think what we need to do now, we've spoken about Tottenham, what it means to them, and I think we've both concluded it's a massive win. Let's have a look at it now from a Crystal Palace perspective. Look, it's not going well for Palace at the moment. They are without a win in 5 games in all competitions, and they've been beaten in their last three Premier League games. Look, Oliver Glasner has so much credit in the bank that we're not questioning him here. But is he making mistakes, in your opinion, Darren?
Again, it's so difficult to say he's making mistakes because he is a tremendous manager. And what he's done at that football club, he'll go down as a legend, winning the FA Cup, obviously the Community Shield. What, three games ago in the top 4? I mean, no one would have said that at the start of the season, the start of last season, or when he arrived at the football club. The only slight mistake that I feel Oliver Glasner has made recently is the 11 changes he made in the Coups game in the Europa Conference. Now, I said that at the time. I covered it on for talkSPORT on comms, and I said that I just feel at that particular moment, Oliver Glasner, from every single game throughout the season, played his strongest 11. Whatever 11 was available, he played his... And I love that about him. And every other game, in terms of the Europa Conference that I was covering, Natalie Sawyer was the host, she would say, do you think that's right? Yes, I love managers when they do that. This game, he decided to make 11 changes. And I understand the reasons, because there's a lot of games coming thick and fast throughout the Christmas period. But I just felt the Leeds game was the least important out of the 3 that was coming up. The Coups game, the Leeds game, the Arsenal game in the quarterfinal. The Leeds was the least important, in my opinion. And I said that I don't think Crystal Palace are going to finish in the Champions League spot. Although they were in the top 4 at the time, they would do really well to finish in the top 6, top 7 in terms of getting Europa League football. So the best opportunity I felt was to win the Europa Conference. And the best opportunity to win the Europa Conference is to get in the top 8, to get seeded, to not have these 2 playoff games in February, I believe they are, and then in the round of 16 to be second or at home in the second round.
Do you think that was a mistake? When he did that full rotation, you think that was a mistake?
I think that was an error. And I say that because the previous game that I covered, it was Shelbourne. They won 3-0 comfortably. They made 3 changes at half-time. 3 of their better players came off, Wharton, Pino, and one other, I forget who, came off at half-time because the job was done. It was 3-0 at half-time. I just felt he said he was going to make wholesale changes, but then the league table, they were 9th. They were 1 point off the top 8. And I just thought he would have gone in, looked at that and thought, right, let's do what I've done against Shelbourne. Let's play my strongest team or as close to it, and then make 3, 4, 5 changes as early as I can, and then get ready for Leeds. Because Leeds, as I said it, was the least important. And when you look at it now, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing. They've lost the 3 games after they've made those changes. I'd say lost, but they lost on penalties to Arsenal in the quarterfinal. But they've lost on 3, so he must look now and think, maybe I made an error there.
Maybe he did. 03717 223344 is the phone number to call if you have a strong opinion on this. That's the phone number that Matthew, who is a Crystal Palace fan, called. Matthew, you're live on talkSPORT. What do you think to what you just heard there from Darren Ambrose?
Hey, Rory. Can I just say, Darren Ambrose, I love the goal that you scored against Man United that time in the Carabao Cup.
Thank you very much.
You're a superstar.
Thank you.
Look, I think Glasner's been thrown under the bus. I feel like in the summer, when we had the Europa League argument, the club was more interested in fighting that battle rather than actually building a squad for a manager that won us the Community Shield and an FA Cup. And I really do feel like he's just been thrown under the bus. I feel like when we don't have Munoz in the team, we lack forward thinking.
Yeah. Is there a fear, Matt, that obviously the reports are suggesting that Oliver Glasner is going to leave? Of course, Gahey as well is going to be leaving. Is there a fear in the Crystal Palace supporter fan base that there could be a domino effect and Mateta and Adam Wharton and Daniel Munoz, who you rightly said has been fantastic, they could all be looking elsewhere now and saying to their agents, look, this club is... They're not backing the manager. We're not pushing forward.
But the club knows this. The club knew that Gahey's contract was going to run out, and knew that Glasner's contract was going to run out. So why have they not done anything about making replacements at that time? Why have they not brought in a new, like Joe Gomez? You could go to Liverpool, have Gahey in January, and we'll have Joe Gomez. I know he's an injury-prone player, but at least we can get something in. Like,
Matthew, do you know what? As much as I agree with a lot of what you're saying, I think Oliver Glasner is a true great. I think he's a brilliant manager, and I think his next job will be. What?
He's the best man we've ever had, and we don't deserve him.
His next job will be top tier, no doubt. Like, I think that he is the man that could easily go into a Bayern Munich, go into a Real Madrid.
We don't deserve him, Rory.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I don't know.
I think he's been a great fit, Matt. It's been a great fit since he's arrived. Do you not think?
Oh, he's been amazing. Oh, I love him. I love him from the bottom of my heart. But we don't deserve him because of the way we treat him in the summer. We haven't given him the squad that he deserves for this season.
But do you know what, Matthew? As much as he's been great for you, and there is no doubt about it, as much as he has been one of your best, and as much as he will go on to great things, we are still allowed to critique excellent managers, aren't we? We are still allowed to look at Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho in their pomp.
But I feel like he's making decisions in a kind of stubborn way, trying to say to the board, you haven't given me what I want.
Your last 6 goals conceded have been set pieces. 9 of the last 10 goals that you've conceded have come from set pieces. That's I mean, it's in the most respectful way possible.
It's not acceptable.
Well, that is bad management, isn't it? If you are constantly, because when Ange Postecoglou said that he had no respect for set pieces, and Tottenham were conceding left, right, and centre every time you crossed the ball in, people were dragging Ange Postecoglou over the coals. Why are we not extending that courtesy to Oliver Glasner?
Because he's taken a team from Croydon to an FA Cup and a Community Shield, beating Man City and Liverpool. He didn't just beat like little teams; he beat big teams. So he does get that kind of credit in the bank. I'm not saying that we should be defending a lot better, but I think Mark Gahey has lost a metre of his game. I don't think he's like. I think he's leaving the club. I think the Choir is probably looking to leave. I think that's what I think.
Do you think, Matthew? Do you think there's anything that the club can do in the summer, in January, in terms of the transfer window, backing him, signing players that he wants, that will change his mind? Or do you think he's not going to be Crystal Palace manager next season?
He's not going to be Palace manager next season. But what the club needs to do is go, what do you want in January? If they spend 20, we've got Woody Johnson, the part of the New York Jets. He's like 202 billion. Like, he could put money in if he wanted. Like, we've got the money and we've got the PSR room. So I don't understand why we can't just like sign a couple of players, just put a little bit of, just build a squad for this guy that we know is a great manager.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Matthew. He has done wonderful things at your club, but there is no doubt in my mind that he's making some mistakes at the moment, and I think it is right, despite the brilliance that we have seen previously, to analyse that. We're going to change directions a touch now, but stay with the phone lines. 03717223344 is the number to call. We're going to speak to Ben, the Tottenham fan. Ben, sir, you are live on talkSPORT.
Hey, Ben.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah, very well, very well. Overall, I think that you've got to be over the moon with what happened today. Thomas Frank went back to exactly what he knows, what he does best, win a game via a set piece, pragmatic management.
Absolutely. We was up against it tonight, and you look at it in the whole, we probably should have got beaten tonight when you look at the stats and the facts and stuff like that. But it's been hard to watch Tottenham this year. I've been a few times, and we are awkward to watch. Everyone knows that. Everyone likes to make fun of Tottenham, but everyone says, "Oh yeah, Frank out." He's been given no time. But he's an honest manager, and he's doing the right things. And everyone picks on the bad things that he does. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I would.
You've all championed Thomas Frank with what he'd done at Brentford. He did a wonderful job, right?
Yes, but do you think there's anything in this theory, Ben? Do you think that there's anything that suggests that you can be a very good manager of a small club like Brentford and not necessarily meaning that track record that you have at a club like Brentford or the track record that Graham Potter had at a club like Brighton doesn't necessarily mean that you were capable of going to a club like Chelsea in Potter's case, a club like West Ham in Potter's case, a club like Tottenham in Thomas Frank's case.
Okay, so what's the difference between Thomas Frank going to Tottenham and Vincent Kompany going to Bayern Munich?
I think the point here that I'm trying to make is that you don't need the track record. If you look across Europe at the moment, if you look at Xabi Alonso, the Real Madrid manager, Hansi Flick, you look at the top managers, even Pep Guardiola is a good example of this. Pep Guardiola didn't go and earn his stripes. He didn't go and manage Valladolid. He went straight in the hot seat of Barcelona.
Well, my argument though, and Ben, I don't know if you agree with this, is 317 games he had for Brentford, and he does, like, as I don't know if you heard the start of the show, I feel he deserved an opportunity at a bigger club, and I feel Tottenham are a bigger club than Brentford. I don't think 27, 28 games is enough to write off a manager and say you're not ready for a bigger side.
Thomas Frank in, absolutely. I love Thomas Frank's style of football. I've been to Spurs probably, 8 or 9 times this season, all at Spurs, never away, but we play some of the dullest football you can watch. It's hard to watch sometimes. We pass the ball backwards when we're in the opposition's final third. You can almost hear the frustration around the stadium where people are like, why are we doing this? Spurs used to be the most entertaining team around. If they score 4, we'll score 5, and that is the Spurs ethos.
But in a word, Ben, are you backing Thomas Frank?
To the end, and I backed Andrew Potter, and I was gutted that he left.
Mate,
we never do that.
Ben, I was totally in agreement up until your finals. I thought you made such a good point, and then he ruined it with the Andrews Cogli chat. But we're going to keep this conversation going. 03717 223344 is the number to call. And now it's very important that you know this. The talkSPORT Breakfast Show returns tomorrow morning with Jeff Stelling alongside the delighted former Aston Villa forward Gabby Agbonlahor. And over on talkSPORT 2 right now, there's live coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship. But here on the final word, the phone-in lines are now open. 03717 223344. Tottenham fans, do you still want Thomas Frank? And Crystal Palace fans, can you keep hold of Oliver Glasner and Mark Gahey? What is going on at your club at the moment? Give us a bell now, and you could be airing your views to the nation on talkSPORT.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good evening and welcome to the final word with me, Rory Jennings, alongside former Crystal Palace player and Tottenham fan Darren Ambrose. Tottenham picked up a huge away win against Crystal Palace, who are struggling at the moment as they lose for the 3rd time in a row in the Premier League. Tottenham fans, despite the win, are you keen on Thomas Frank? Do you believe that it should be Thomas Frank in or Thomas Frank out? And Crystal Palace fans, are you worried about keeping Oliver Glasner? 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. Call us right now as the phone lines are open for you. Soon we'll be talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin as he scores again as Leeds picked up a point against Sunderland, and we look ahead to a huge game on Tuesday night as Arsenal host Aston Villa in a title clash. But now it's all about you and your opinion, so give us a call 03717 223344 and you could be airing your views to the nation on the Final Word phone-in show on talkSPORT. We're going to go straight back to the phone lines. Tottenham fans, we do want to hear from you. 03717 223344. That is the number that Darren, the Tottenham fan, called. Darren, sir, you're live on talkSPORT. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm on my way back from the Crystal Palace game,
Yeah.
which was quite a hard watch, as most of it's been this season. And if you can bear with me, I'm not a massive Thomas Frank fan. I think he's a great person. I just don't like his style of football. However, what I will say is it's not just down to Thomas Frank. It's down to the complete negligence and mismanagement of our football club over the past 10 years in terms of recruitment. And if you're a football club that can't win a trophy with either Jose Mourinho or Antonio Conte as your manager, there is something fundamentally wrong. Now, when it comes to transfers, you guys will both know, usually sell players to buy better ones, yeah?
Yep.
If you look at our team from that Champions League final, yeah, we've got nothing compared to that now, because it's very simple in football. It's not about transfer fees anymore, because most clubs can spend 50 million. It's about what you spend in wages. And we have got average players. None of our forward line would get in a top 6 club, and that is because the management of the club have mismanaged this club disgracefully for the last 10 years. We pay the highest season ticket prices, and we get treated as fans like mugs. I've been going to Tottenham 50 years. There has never in my time been a bigger void between the fan base and the club.
I mean, that's a damning statement, to be honest, Daz. And look, I can 100% see where you're coming from. When you look back at that Champions League that Champions League final side, I mean, to look at where the club has gone from there to where it is now, it is sad, and it's a sad indictment of what's happened over the last 10 years, as you said. In terms of
the best thing that they could do,
go on.
You know, you say there isn't a manager. You know, you can't win Conte, you can't win with Mourinho. The fans and the club need to be reunited. And I'm not saying that I completely agree with what I'm going to say, but what I do think is the club should be sold. They should start again. And new owners, if I was buying Tottenham and I wanted to get the fans on my side, for a year, give me a year, and I had the money, the two things I would do would be to rehire Mauricio Pochettino, and whatever the guy wanted for 2 seasons, re-sign Harry Kane. And then you get the fans and the club back together. Because at the moment, it's pretty toxic.
It is, you're right. But how likely is that going to happen, Daz, to be honest? Both of those, selling the club.
I think they will sell the club, personally. And I don't think it's just down to Daniel Levy. Let's see how much money ENIC or the owners of the club actually spend in January. There's no football person left at our football club, in my opinion. There's no Tottenham person. And for the first time since I've been going to Spurs, we've sold Son, we've sold Kane. We've got no superstar. And Tottenham and that stadium need a superstar.
You know what? That statement right there, Daz, is exactly... It's the truest statement that a Spurs supporter can say. There's no superstar in that team.
Yeah, that was a brilliant call.
We signed Kudus. We signed Xavi Simons. All great signings. Not really... No, they're not superstar signings. They're great signings. And let's be honest. When Spurs signed Xavi Simons, everyone was saying, "Oh, we got the better end of the deal in terms of the Eze signing." Oh, yeah. But there's no. You look at around the team. What Spurs always had, really?
Yeah, no,
number 9, a superstar number. Harry Kane was a superstar for years
also,
upon
do
years.
you know what I always associate with Tottenham? And obviously, I'm from looking at it from the outside in. I've always associated Tottenham with that sort of beautiful footballer.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going over Tottenham years ago. And I was keeping my head down on a train, and the train was reverberating to a song about Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
He was born to play for Spurs, is what they were singing. And over the years, you got the spirit of Chris Waddle, Glenn Hoddle. You know those
Gaza,
beautiful footballers.
Modric, Ericsson when he was at Spurs.
Beautiful footballers. And even when I was a kid, when they had the famous 5 under Ardile, it was like expansive, attacking, beautiful football. Yeah. It didn't always end in victory, but there was a real identity to who Tottenham are. That has been eroded. That has been taken away from them. And when you speak to a Tottenham fan there, like Darren, who spoke with such emotion, such knowledge and such conviction and dedication to his team over the years, that's where I feel sorry for Tottenham. Yeah. Look, I want Tottenham to fail, but I want them to fail as Tottenham. I want them to be the institution that they're supposed to be. Yeah. What I don't want them to be is this almost no longer a footballing institution, just this almost money-making machine.
I'd like to hear if other Spurs supporters feel the same in terms of the void, the gap between fans and club now, and it's never been so far apart. I'd like to know if that was only Darren that believed that, or because I don't go to as many games as these match day goers because I'm at work a lot of the time. So I'd love to know if he's not the only one that feels like that.
Well, let's find out. Let's go now and speak to Chris. Chris is a Tottenham fan. Chris, you've just heard the previous caller, Darren, and you've heard Darren Ambrose there speaking about the disparity between the fans, the club, the owners, the manager. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, I think so. I think there is a... How are you anyway?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think so, but I think we're in a bit of a transition. I don't think we can really look too much on what was before now. You know, if you got everyone's wanted Levy out, he's gone. I wasn't really one of them, to be honest with you. It used to do my head in listening to that on the terraces every week. Just you know, as soon as a goal goes against us, they wanted Levy out, and then they forget about singing it when we won the game. Do you know what I mean? That's not really me though. I think for me, I just want to get behind Thomas Frank. He ain't proven or anything. He's done well at Brentford, but I don't see him being a bad manager overnight, and I think he needs loads of time. I don't even think it should be a question whether Tottenham have ruined 3 of the best managers in the world. You know, that maybe it's him to Pochettino be the best manager in the world, but he was still great for us. Never won nothing though, but he was Tottenham through and through. Mourinho was, you know, went away. You know, we're the only club he never won at. Same as Conte. You know, it's.
Do you think he'll get it right, Chris? Do you think that Thomas Frank is the man to get it right at Tottenham?
I don't see who else I think we're a bit delusional at Spurs. Sometimes it's all about this big name manager. I mean, unless you were going to get Ancelotti, to me, at the top, you know, at the time when he was free, and then would he go Brazil or something? But if that was shouted about, I'd have been well tough. But I don't know who. I mean, you ain't going to get these Klopps. You're not going to get the Wengers and the Fergusons of this world, whoever they are now. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely, Chris. I think you're right. I think that he is a good fit for Tottenham at the moment, but there are some Tottenham fans out there who disagree. So if you are a Tottenham fan who disagrees with Darren Ambrose and with every caller that we've had so far, if you are a Tottenham fan who thinks that Tottenham could improve upon Thomas Frank, maybe soon, maybe by bringing in someone fairly soon, give us a call, 03717 223344. I'm looking at the switchboard now. If you call that number, you could be live on talkSPORT very soon. This is The Final Word on talkSPORT. Now, before we get back to your calls, we're into day 15 of the PDC World Darts Championship at Ali Pali. And with all the latest, here's talkSPORT's Ian Danter.
Evening to you, Rory. Well, we're about to get the night session underway on day 15. And we've got three players who know what it takes to be a champion. The current youth world champion, Jan van Veen, is about to take to the stage. The Dutchman taking on the Latvian #1, Madas Razma. And then Luke Humphries, who won this tournament a couple of years ago. He takes on a former World Championship semi-finalist, Gabriel Clements from Germany. And then Michael van Gerwen, the three-time winner of this tournament. He's last up tonight, taking on another German, Arno Merck, who on debut has already beaten Kim Huybrechts and Peter Wright to get to this stage. Already victories this afternoon for Ryan Searle, Gary Anderson and Rob Cross. All the action tonight is over on talkSPORT 2, the talkSPORT app, or our dedicated talkSPORT Darts YouTube page.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this New Year's Eve. Party at one of our New Year's Eve events. 34 locations across the UK. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Cheers for that, Ian. Now, look, we're going to be back to your calls imminently, but first, after a big away win at Crystal Palace, Tottenham gaffer Thomas Frank spoke with talkSPORT's Alex Crook and spoke on the importance of getting a win today after 2 defeats in a row.
It was, of course, it was hugely important, but I also think you can see second half that we are a team that are building something, but we are not like on a full flow confidence. So there was, digging in, fighting hard, and there's just games like that in the Premier League. We know that, we see that week in, week out. So to come here and get 3 points against a very good team that's had a fantastic season is very good.
Then Crookie caught up with Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner to give us his thoughts on the game.
Nobody had, can't remember that Crystal Palace side dominated the Tottenham side like we did today, but we lost. That's I couldn't see that somebody was fatigued. It's just we know right now in the last weeks and months we're a little bit lacking finishing quality. Yeah, and today we unfortunately we showed it again, and it's really now to help the players, support them, because I see the structure is fine, the way we can create chances is fine, but the most important thing we are missing right now, and then it's really encouraging and helping the players.
Interesting words there from Oliver Glasner. Let's see what Stacey, the Crystal Palace fan, thinks about the performance today. Stacey, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hello, Darren. How are you?
Yeah, good, Stacey. How are you?
Yeah, good. We're just on our way back. You know what? I'm quite surprised that we've got a manager like Ollie Glasner to begin with. But he must know the type of team Palace are, and coming into managing a team like Crystal Palace, unfortunately it's going to be a slow burner. We always lose good players. I don't think the January window is going to be the be all and end all. I think if he's going to commit, it's going to be the January window, the summer window, and then potentially the next January window as well. He's got to be in it he's got to show commitment and be in it for the long haul.
Can I ask, Stacey, why do you say that you think you're lucky to have a manager like Oliver Glasner, who has been at Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, to name the few that he's been at in Germany?
I just think he's done a lot more for the team than what any other manager has. He's obviously showed potential for them to go after him in the first place. But I can't fault him. Although I do agree with the point you made earlier that I think making 11 changes was a complete mistake.
Do you think that was? I can't remember the caller. The name of the caller passes my mind, but he said that he made the change to make a point to the board, to the football club, that we have no players. I'm having to make these changes. Do you think to a certain degree he's done that and maybe feels that's an error now?
I think possibly. I don't know. I think he's more professional than that. I think he's obviously spoken out a lot more recently about not being backed by the board, and not being given as much control as what he'd like. I think it's a silly move for him to do if that's what he's done, to get your point across. But also, you've got these young players coming through, and give them the chance. they have been out there. They've been and proved themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think to do it all on that one night and the way it was done has probably put us on the back foot now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point there.
You know what, though? She is right. And I only say that because they didn't win.
Yeah.
Because they drew. If they won the game, you'd say, well, he made a good call.
Yeah.
Even if they lost the next 3, which they have done, you'd still say, well, he made the right call. He rests some legs. They got the result, which the team he put out, yes, they played Joel Drakes-Thomas, 16-year-old. They played a couple of other 16-year-olds in the middle. Rodney, his name was, good player. I thought he was good. Left back was I think, 19. I just feel he made too many changes, but he's giving those players an opportunity. And the team he put out probably should have had enough to beat Coops, who their last competitive game was in early November because their league had stopped. So
it's so difficult, isn't it, for a manager? Because ultimately, if it had gone, it's such a results-driven business.
Yeah, agreed.
If something had been slightly different in that game, and rather than being a draw, they end up getting the victory, it all looks very different now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the phone lines and keep your calls coming in, by the way. The switchboard has lit up 03717 223344. That's exactly the number that Stephen called. Stephen, a Tottenham fan. What do you make of it all?
Hey, Stephen.
Hiya, guys. Good evening. Good evening. I just think, Rory, you made me laugh around 20, 25 minutes ago when the Spurs supporter was saying he was sounding good until the last comment about Anne.
Yeah.
It's true. No, seriously, you're serious. And I was laughing because it's true. He had to go, but I'm not even going to go into that. It's a thing. We do spend money, but the thing about it is we buy players that none of the top 5 or 6 wants. I think that's what the problem is. They could be spending money, but spending money on players that, if you're going to challenge, because we've got the best stadium, well, we heard one of the best stadiums in the world, best training ground, but that's not going to frighten teams. You've got to put the players into the stadium and the training ground to make a serious challenge. That's
I do agree with you, Stephen, because do you know what? At the moment, for the first time in ages, you know Antoine Semenyo?
Yeah.
We have a player that is being coveted by everyone.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Like, I can't think. I was trying to rack my brain. When was the last time maybe the big 6 clubs in the country would all be improved by the same player? Like, everyone is looking. Manchester City are looking like front runners, but obviously I think Antoine Semenyo would basically win Arsenal the league.
Yeah.
I think he's that good. I think he would change Liverpool's trajectory.
Yep.
Definitely gets in the Chelsea team, elevates Tottenham beyond recognition.
Yep.
This is a player that is basically being sought by everyone. There's no way he's going to Tottenham, is there?
No, and this is the issue. Like with Eze's situation, you'll say the same, Stephen, that just get it done. That's probably the one thing that Spurs supporters say all the time that I know. Just get these signings over the line. Yeah. Antoine Semenyo, go and get it done. Pay what's needed to pay. Pay him the wages need to pay. Let's get a superstar in our side once again.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I saw on Twitter last week, I'm not sure, but I saw it on my phone that he doesn't want to go to Spurs. He politely declined. Whether that's wages or whatever, but we don't pay wages. Look at Dominic Solanke, I think, cost 60-65 million. And I'm sure that he's on no more than, not saying obviously a lot of money to us normal guys and, people that work in an everyday life. He must have between 60 to 65,000 a week, if that. And he's our highest player that we've brought.
But then Tottenham need to do something different, don't they, Stephen? If you can't compete, you have to get Eze done. You know what Darren said there? Get the deal done. You need to sign Semenyo in the summer rather than waiting for there to be this scramble.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wait until the last minute or try to get him down by £5 million, £7 million less. Just get it done. Because look, Garnacho's only been playing football maybe the last 3-4 years. Yeah. And before we brought Solanke, I bet Garnacho was on maybe 15, 20 grand less. Then Solanke's been playing for the last 7-8 years.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that there is a major issue.
I think you'll agree, Rory. From obviously you want Spurs to fail, and I get that being Chelsea, but from a Chelsea fan or a supporter of football looking in, he's right. Yeah, Stephen's right. We've got the best stadium, one of the best stadiums in Europe, if not the best. We've got an unbelievable training ground. We can attract players, so that we've got Champions League football. So the only thing that's stopping them coming is the wages.
Yeah. But the problem is, when you talk about this stadium, it's great, but the stadium has to be a football stadium. Yeah. You've got a great stadium, but it has to be filled with great football players. Otherwise, it's just a place for Beyonce, isn't it? It's for Beyonce. It's like Beyonce does a concert there. You get the NFL there now and again. You get the boxing. AJ had a great time there, right? I went to the Eubank Ben fight. It was brilliant. but it needs to be.
I said this a couple of years ago, that it's all well and good having a beer can that fills up from the bottom. If you haven't got anything in the trophy cabinet, yes, thankfully we got a trophy last season.
But
that's not enough. We need to build on that.
It's the lack of icons. You know the conversation we were having before?
Yeah.
When you think about Tottenham, any Tottenham team, I'm thinking about my entire life now. You're going back to, like when I was a kid, I remember Klinsmann scoring at Hillsborough and doing that slide, right? All the way through, literally, every team, potentially every team, up until this one, there has been a superstar.
Yeah, and there isn't now.
And if anyone calls up and tries to position Xavi Simons or whatever as a super,
as crazy as it sounds,
normalising of
he's probably the closest we have to it.
So mediocre though, Darren. So mediocre.
That's the closest we have to. The closest we have that maybe a couple of other top six sides would have him. That's the closest one. Kudus, probably not. I mean, on his day he's good, but we haven't got someone.
Yeah, there is
maybe Van der Ven, Romero. They're the close two, and they're our centre halves. They're our centre halves.
As soon as you start doing this, I think that you need to consult your OED for the word superstar.
But this is what I'm saying. Like Romero, World Cup winner. Like he's probably not now, but he has been a superstar. But when you're saying your centre halves are your superstars, that's when something's wrong. You want an unbelievable
and Kane and
John Terry Carvalho. When you had at Chelsea, John Terry Carvalho.
We had a team of international.
They'd be superstars at Tottenham.
Of course.
You can't have that. You need that player that, as you said, the player. The list can go on and on. We haven't got that at the moment.
Yeah, there was talk earlier from a caller that suggests that Tottenham will be sold. Do you think if a new ownership came in, maybe the methodology would change?
I think it first and foremost, I think it would take an astronomical bid for the Enid Group, for whoever it may be, the powers that be, to get rid of the football club, because they've been takeover rumours left, right, and centre. It never happens. Daniel Levy actually left, which no one ever thought was going to happen, and we, as Spurs supporters, we thought this could be the start actually of a takeover bid. But so yes, my answer to that, yes. If Spurs have a takeover, I think the whole club will change and it will only get better.
It's fascinating stuff. I'm really, really finding this interesting. It's almost like a didactic one for me to kind of learn about the culture of Tottenham here, because that point about the lack of superstars really is big. Now, do keep your calls coming in. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. 03717 223344. This is the final word on talkSPORT. This is the final word with me, Rory Jennings, and the wonderful Darren Ambrose. That music isn't music that I thoroughly enjoy.
Nah, me neither.
But I must admit that I like seeing Leeds back in the Premier League. This is sacrilege what I'm doing here. I'm a Chelsea fan. The spirit of 1970 and David Webb lives on in my veins. But the Premier League's the best place having Leeds United in it.
Have you ever been to Ellen Road?
I've been to Ellen Road. I saw James Milner score at Ellen Road. I saw Chelsea score 5 at Ellen Road.
Honestly, the Ellen Road roar.
It's an amazing stadium.
I've never heard anything like it. The last 10 minutes, I swear I must have lost 2 or 3 away games there in the last 10 minutes because of that Ellen Road roar.
Yeah. It's a great club. The Premier League is a better place having them in it. They are undoubtedly one of Chelsea's biggest rivals. So I feel like I'm being a bit treacherous saying this. But seeing Leeds United in the Premier League scoring goals, they look like they should survive. They're certainly doing everything they can to get themselves into a position where they survive. And by the way, everything that I've said about Leeds, I would extend this same courtesy to Sunderland.
Yeah.
Big club.
Yeah.
Kind of club that you want in the Premier League. They played out a 1-1 draw today, but the focus just has to be on the brilliance of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Darren, you know, in my life, I've had some howlers, some predictions that really haven't gone well. This one may have gone slightly under the radar.
Go on.
But my God, it was been so wrong. I basically said that I wanted Leeds to stay up for the reasons that we've gone into already.
Yep.
I wanted Leeds to survive, and I felt like they were doomed because the quote I used, I said, if you are relying on Dominic Calvert-Lewin to be the player to keep you up, you're going down. He's breaking records. He scored six in a row.
He scored in 6 consecutive games, 7 in 6. It's not... When you said that, it probably wasn't that much of a bad, bold statement.
Oh, you're very kind. You're a generous man.
No, but I know where that was coming from. Yeah. We have an Everton supporting producer that is gutted to see him doing so well because he struggled with his injuries at Everton, of course.
Mirrored by Barry at Everton as well, isn't it?
He's got 7 in his last 6, but he has 7 this season. Yeah. So this purple patch he's on at the moment is probably the best of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah. The Dominic Calvert-Lewin that got into that England side. The Dominic Calvert-Lewin that, in my opinion, should and could go to the World Cup.
Well, this is it. You know the chant, are you watching Thomas Tuchel? Is he? Should he be? Is there a chance that Dominic Calvert-Lewin could be part of Thomas Tuchel's setup to go to America for the World Cup next year?
Well, yes. I certainly think there is. If you look at the forwards that they have, yes, Harry Kane is number 1. He is number 1. He plays. When he's fit, he plays. You've got Ollie Watkins. You've got Dominic Solanke. I mean, where that guy is, I don't know. I mean, you don't even get updates about Dominic Solanke anymore.
No. Look, I don't know. I feel like the drop-off from Harry Kane to whoever we have to go for, it's stopped.
I like Ollie Watkins.
Danny Welbeck would deserve a mention.
Danny Welbeck as well. And I thought it was a travesty, really, he didn't get in the last squad. He was on fire, scoring goals left, right and centre. And he only took Harry Kane, if you remember, in terms he took 1 centre forward. So I thought it was a travesty Danny Welbeck didn't get called up. But
this is the form of his life, Calvert-Lewin, isn't it?
Dominic Calvert-Lewin offers you something different to Harry Kane. Yeah. The goal he scored today, I heard Perry Grove saying it on comms duty as well, it was instinct. It was a forward on form. It was a forward full of confidence.
Centre forward's goal, wasn't it?
He made that run that maybe during his Everton time or the start of this season when he was a bit low on confidence, he wouldn't have made that run because he would have been a real fear that he would have missed it if he got there. Subconsciously thought he would have missed it. But he made a natural instinct run, timed it perfectly, and a beautiful finish into the goal. And by the way, if Leeds stay up, it's going to be down to the form of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I just feel he'll give England something different. He's one of the best header of the balls that in the Premier League at the moment on form. And if he continues this form, or probably half of this form, I think he's a real decent backup to Harry Kane.
Yeah. Do you think it would be him? Like, obviously, we saw Ollie Watkins score 2 huge goals for Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge. Massive goals, potentially title-deciding goals. So you've got Ollie Watkins presumably ahead of the queue?
I'd take them both. I'd take both of them and Harry Kane if it was me.
Really?
Yeah. I think you got Harry Kane that's going to play. You've got Ollie Watkins who can come on when defenders are tired, make those runs in behind, as we see when he scored his goal in the Euros, make those runs in behind, be a real nuisance and get the defenders facing their own goal, which they hate to do. And on the flip side, you've got a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you've got set plays, winning set plays, throw-ins, corners, you bring him on to make that run into the box, to get on the end of it and head it. Why can't we take 3?
Yeah, I completely agree. Leeds United are currently 16th. They've managed to accrue 20 points. They've only played 18 games, so we're not quite...
No, not quite there.
Not quite at the halfway point. 20 points.
But they've given themselves the best opportunity.
Yeah, they are 7 points clear of West Ham United in 18th. There is a buffer of Nottingham Forest between them. This is dreamland for Leeds United fans, isn't it? This is about as much as they could have possibly hoped for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm going through their results since they lost to Manchester City end of November. They beat Chelsea 3-1. They drew to Liverpool, if you remember, 3-3.
We set them on our way. There's a. I imagine Leeds United fans are thoroughly loving that.
Yeah,
it was a Chelsea victory that sparked this run.
Yeah, you'd say that, of course. And then they went away to Brentford, got a 1-1, which, by the way, is not a bad result. They annihilated Crystal Palace 4-1 as well. Dominic Calvert-Lewin catalyst in that. And then today beat a Sunderland side who, if they won, would have gone 5th.
Yeah. That point at Sunderland is a good point as well. It's not an easy place to go. Like Arsenal got a draw there, didn't they?
Yeah.
These promoted teams that
to go one behind as well.
Yeah, and come back.
Yeah. And I was listening to Graham Courtney, who was on the comms on it as well. He was giving us the updates on talkSPORT. He was saying the second half was all Leeds. Leeds could have and should have gone on and won it. Yeah. There was moments in that game. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin had an opportunity in the second half with one of his teammates. They got in each other's way. I think they've maybe down to Chelsea, really, when they beat you 3-1. Yeah. They're unbeaten in 5.
You've got to think about the statement victory that was.
Yeah.
Like, that was off the back of us getting a very good point against Arsenal with 10 men when we kind of thought that we were in a title race. We kind of thought Chelsea were outsiders, but potential contenders for the league.
You just said about they've got 20 points. They're in 16th place. 9 of those points have come from the last 5 games.
They have put the promoted teams of last year to shame, haven't they? These promoted sides. You know all that.
Apart from Burnley.
You know all that conversation though. You know all that conversation about the disparity between the Premier League and the Championship, and the gap has never been greater. And obviously Southampton under Russell Martin made it look like that was true.
Yeah.
Suddenly Leeds United have completely ignored that. Sunderland. Completely
I was foolish enough to believe Ipswich would have done really well in the Premier League when they were up, and I was made to look foolish as well. It was such a bad call that Ipswich really, really struggled. And again, we're thinking it's going to be the same this year. Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds, they're going to come up, go straight back down, proving everyone wrong. Well, at least 2 of them anyway.
Yeah, good luck to them. Leeds fans, give us a call. We really do want to hear your thoughts on this. We really do want to hear your opinion on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the man of the moment, the form striker in the league at the moment. Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the form of his life. Give us a call. 03717 223344. Should Dominic Calvert-Lewin be going to the World Cup with Thomas Tuchel's men? Truly, truly unbelievable. Leeds United sit 7 points ahead of West Ham United. Coming up, we'll be joined by a man who normally sits in the hot seat, a Grammy-nominated music producer. It's Mr. Majestic. This is The Final Word on talkSPORT. Now, before we bring you a very special guest, let's head over to Alexandra Palace for a PDC World Championship darts update from talkSPORT's Ian Danter.
Well, so far, Jan van Veen, the World Youth Champion, looks very cool, calm and collected up on the giant 120-foot wide stage. He is 2-0 up in a race to 4 against the Latvian number 1, Madas Rasma, averaging just a shade under 100. Van Veen. Have to remember, he came through the youth system at the same time as one Luke Littler. Hasn't made quite as many headlines, but he's got huge potential to have a very, very prominent role in this sport over the coming years. So he's 2-0 up and halfway to victory. Luke Humphreys, the number 2 seed, will be next up on stage against Gabriel Clements. And Michael van Gerwen, the number 3 seed, takes on the German debutant Arno Merck in the final match of the night. And all the action is live on talkSPORT 2, on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page, and on the talkSPORT app.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this New Year's Eve. Party at one of our New Year's Eve events. 34 locations across the UK. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Thank you very much there, Ian Danton. Now it's time to welcome in a very special guest. Majestic, I'm in your hot seat, mate. It's like a B-Tech version of Majestic currently on.
Get off my show, you. What's happening? How are you, boys?
Madge, where are you, mate? Where you been?
I'm literally just back from the airport. Just got back from Saudi Arabia, from Riyadh. I spent Christmas in Riyadh.
How was that?
Yeah, really good. It was the what was it called? The night of the samurai, the Ring 5 card underway against Picasso. Japan against Mexico, great fight. Wicked time out there. You know, you'd like, who was out there? Usyk was out there. I was very fortunate enough to bring my family, so the wife and kids came.
Oh, lovely.
The little man got a photo of Triple G, Golovkin.
I see that.
Pretty epic.
Amazing. How good's Anue, by the way?
Oh, mate. Anue. Is there any belt he hasn't won?
Ridiculous.
He is. Do you know what? Watching him ringside, and I took my little boy Leo ringside and watched it literally like from meters away. The sound of those body shots pounding Picasso was insane, and I'm sure, of course, the boys on Fight Night will be talking a lot more about him in the next year, because right now, when it comes to pound for pound, Anue, wow, what an incredible fighter he was, and what an experience that was.
Majestic, we've been talking about Tottenham. We've been talking about Tottenham, a good win today, a professional win, the kind of pragmatic win that you would expect from Thomas Frank, but there is still an undercurrent that some Tottenham fans aren't overly enamoured by Thomas Frank as their manager. Where do you sit on that debate?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because first and foremost, it's a great win today. Going to Selhurst Park is difficult.
Yep.
Roy, I want to flip it back on you quickly, because I think, you know, Chelsea are a good barometer, because I look at Chelsea's squad. You've got some great players in there. You've got a much better squad than us. How do you feel your season's going right now?
Love that, Madge.
Badly, to be honest. Certainly not what it should be.
Not for Chelsea standards and the players that you've got.
Yeah, I think what we should be doing, we should be within a conversation of a league title, and we're
correct. Not. So we're only 4 points behind you. I was looking at it just before coming on. We've lost one game less than I think we've lost a game more than you, and one less game. It's crazy to see how tight the Premier League is right now. And the biggest problem that we have, and I was listening to you guys on the way on from the airport, and Darren's right. It's just we don't have a style right now. We don't know what it is, and I think that's the most frustrating thing for Spurs fans. We don't know what kind of game we're playing, and I think even Pard said it as well. Are we a low block team that likes to break on the counter? Are we a possession-based team? I don't know which team we are, and I think we still need to let Thomas Frank have a bit of time to try and create that identity. I think Frank hasn't done the best things in terms of, I was on air when he spoke about, you know, real Spurs fans, and then he keeps talking about the fact that we finished 17th last year. You've got to put into context what last season was. And if you listen to Van der Ven's interview he did recently, when he's talking about, literally the gaffer said, I'm not playing you in the league. We're going to go and win the Europa. So, you know, the fact that we finished 17th last year, there was a reason why we finished. So he can't use that as an excuse. I'm taking his team from 17th and up the league. That's not the right thing. I just think we need to spend in January big time. You know, I think the difference between, say, us and you, Rory, is you've got the players. So the fact that you're not in that title race is strange. There's something just not right in the team. We don't have the players, mate.
You think, Matt, do you think it's a personnel issue as well in terms of style of play? Of course, like the players that we've signed not really adapting as yet. I think we've seen signs of Xabi Simons being a good player. I think Odeberg come on, looked okay today, hit the post, but we're missing Madders, missing Kulusevski, missing Dominic Solanke. I think that's a real key issue of why we're not seeing the style that Thomas Frank wants to play.
It's so hard to see what a Thomas Frank team looks like when we've never had the availability of all of those people together, you know. I believe that James Maddison would be a massive cog in Thomas Frank's system. Dominic Solanke, in terms of holding the ball up, I think in terms of our strikers, he's the best at that. You know, I often look at his play sometimes, even showing, you know, my 8-year-old son how to play up front. Sometimes it's just relentless doggy work. And I think sometimes Solanke doesn't get praised enough for that because obviously his numbers in front of goal ain't huge. But sometimes the work you got to do off the ball, especially in this one-man up front system where you're obviously bringing a lot of players into play, I think that can go overlooked. I just think at the moment, everything's game by game, innit? That was a difficult game today. We got there. You know, Palace obviously didn't look great.
Yep.
That's, you know, with your connections with Palace, that must be worrying because Palace have been on such a great trajectory. There seems to be a little bit of disharmony there at the moment. And of course, the gaffer's not been back to the way he wants to be. And I think if for example, Palace was to lose Glasner, that would be a massive blow for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the callers we've had today, Madge, I don't know if you've heard some of them saying that they feel they're lucky to have Oliver Glasner. I don't really feel that. I mean, he's certainly a top manager and he's done really well for them, but it looks like he's leaving. Mark Gay, he's leaving. I just feel there's going to be a real domino effect with Crystal Palace. Maybe Adam Wharton, maybe Mateta, players like that. Daniel Munoz, I think's been exceptional as well. But look, let's take it back to Spurs, Madge. January transfer window is fast approaching. When the January transfer window slams shut, what do you want to see at Spurs?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I want proven Premier League players, but that's going to be so hard to do in January. And even down to the fact that, you know, and obviously Rory saw the game yesterday, Ollie Watkins, bang, comes straight into form. Now, Villa in the title race, they're not going to be selling Ollie Watkins or letting him go at any point because, you know, having an in-form Ollie Watkins going into a game against Arsenal when they're both at the top of the league, wow, didn't it make for good football stories, that. So you're just looking against Semenyo, looks like this just won't be done. It's such a shame as well. Again, not doing business correctly when you could have got him in the summer, perhaps, if you put the deals together correctly with the right wages in front of him. Now, you know, Manchester City, they're in the title race. They're not likely to let anyone go. So the Savinho option, I don't think that's there. And again, has he really pulled up that many trees, the money that we're going to have to pay for him? Rory, I like the way that you talk it straight as well. You know, you're looking at what's needed at Spurs. We all know desperately we need a left-sided player. Who's out there in the Premier League that you look at and think that player to Spurs that could make a difference?
Do you know what, Majestic? What I think Tottenham need, I know this will chime with the way you see the situation. Tottenham Hotspur over the years, we've been discussing it today. Tottenham, regardless of what they've won, regardless of where they finish in the league, they've always been a team that's been beautiful. They've always had iconic footballers, whether it's Klinsmann, whether it's Ginola, whether it's Ricky Villa before my time, whether it's Glenn Hoddle, Chris Waddle, Gareth Bale, Teddy Sheringham. Yeah. They've always been superstars. What I feel like Tottenham need, and I know this is a very difficult thing to manage to get in a January transfer window, but I feel like Tottenham needs something to inspire the fans. I think they need at least a definition of a superstar, something to get behind, something to get the fans on the edge of their seat. Because at the moment, like a moment ago, and I know that it would have, I think at least it would have made you cringe, Darren Ambrose tried to convince me that Xavi Simons was a superstar.
Oh, no. I don't know if you heard. I said he's as close to a superstar that we have.
Listen, where he's come from, the teams that he's been in and around, the fact he's been in the Barcelona academy, etc. There's a superstar in the making. You're right in terms of he isn't. But again, you mentioned Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale wasn't a superstar when he came to us. 38 games until he actually won a game. You know, even Berbatov, Modric, Heung-min Son, you know, all of these big players that we have, they want. I always say this. This is always my little sort of pub quiz question: is when did Spurs last buy a superstar? It was 1994 when we bought Jurgen Klinsmann when he was a superstar. You know, you could argue Van der Vaart maybe, but he was at the tail end of his sort of Real Madrid career and he wasn't really putting up trees there. So it is hard to go and get that superstar now. You mentioned David Ginola, right? David Ginola, he won Player of the Year at Spurs. This is how good he was when we finished 11th. Imagine winning the PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah. When Man United won a treble, by the way. Yeah. Man United win a treble and David Ginola finishing 11th gets a Player of the Year.
So this is why I go back again to the summer. And do you know who should have come to Spurs? Jack Grealish.
Yeah, I agree.
That is such a Spurs player.
Obvious Tottenham player. I couldn't agree more.
And you know what, Roy, you'd hate it, wouldn't you? Him and Madders, they'll be throwing the darts. They'll be at the darts tonight together.
Yeah.
That bromance there would make you sick.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. But I think you're onto something. I think Jack Grealish is the kind of player that Tottenham need, because Tottenham fans, the identity is that, isn't it? Entertaining maverick footballers. You know, like 1970s throwback maverick footballers. And you're looking at this Tottenham team now, and they're all right and they're functional. But if I were to say what Tottenham need this transfer window, and it's almost the impossible thing to get, but it's that, isn't it? It's go and find that gem.
Or are you brave enough to go? At the moment, we've got Mikey Moore, who's currently at Rangers, and he's doing well there. You look into the youth, right? Lucas Barnett-Williams, right? This kid that everyone's talking about. Every time I watch him play for the younger team, right? He's scoring goals. He scored 5 the other week in the Champions League. Luca Williams-Barnett, sorry. What a player! The prospect there. Are you brave enough to go and get someone like him and try and bed him into the team? Arsenal are doing it with Max Downing. Right? Yeah. You know, there are clubs out there that are putting there going, you know what, you got a bit. And I think
the fans will be on board.
The fans 100% would be on board. That is one thing with Spurs fans. It's like either you're one of our own or you're a maverick, as Rory said. And at the moment, there isn't anything of that to grasp in our team. So where is the support going to? And again, as always mentioned, this is the first time in over 10 years now, this is a Spurs team without Kane or Son, who are superstars. And this is the first time we're seeing it. So it is a very big transitional year. It's a strange year for the Premier League. Like I said, when I'm looking at the numbers and like how you can be in our position and you feel like we're having the worst season ever, we're 4 points off top 4. And if I remember rightly, the last time we got into that position with Conte, we were 4 points off of top 4, like with a few games to go, and we beat Arsenal on the Wednesday and we won at the weekend. We went into the top 4. So it's like, it's so tight right now, but I'm with Rory. The fans need something in that January transfer, whether it's a wonder loan move from someone who's sort of on the bench somewhere or something. It just needs, I think that's what Thomas Frank needs to reignite his sort of energy with the fan base, because I think we need to sort of start again with him. And I'm not done with him yet, because like, I don't know about you guys, you're looking into the sort of market of managers. Who's out there for Spurs? We've tried every angle. We have to stick with someone at some point.
There's no one. We've got to stick with him. But what I need is your microphone, by the way. Your acoustics are sounding tremendous. I'm not going to lie.
That's why he's nominated for a Grammy and you're not.
Listen, Daz, you can get the mic, but you'll never have the voice.
Majestic, thank you so much for finding the time. Always a joy to talk to you,
for looking after the show, Rory.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. I'm doing my best. I'm a mere custodian. You are the governor. Coming up next, we'll be looking ahead to the biggest game of the week as Arsenal take on Aston Villa live on talkSPORT. This is the final word on talkSPORT.
There's a lot of talk about the independent football regulator. Some people love the sound of it, others don't. But what actually is it? And is it going to be any good for the game? In simple terms, it'll be an organisation not controlled by the Premier League, the EFL or the government, which will make sure all clubs are financially stable and don't rip off the fans. The aim is to make sure what happened to Bury, Derby and Reading doesn't happen again. Now, a significant reason clubs go under is because of dodgy owners financially mismanaging the club and running it into the ground. But in theory, these should be a thing of the past with the new regulator. They'll be able to use data from the National Crime Agency to perform stronger fit and proper persons tests and can even force owners to give up their stake in a club, which for certain supporters might be a welcome relief. It's likely good news for the EFL. The tension between them and the Premier League over a fair financial deal has been increasing in recent years. As it stands, talks have broken down. The Premier League backed out of recent negotiations, but the regulator will have the power to force through a deal, meaning more money for clubs lower down the pyramid. Now, this might sound simple, but in reality there's concerns this will open a legal can of worms, which could result in messy court cases involving the Premier League and the regulator. Parachute payments will be brought under the control of the regulator too. If they reduce them, it could mean a wider variety of clubs securing promotion to the top flight, but critics reckon it'll just mean the gap between the Premier League and EFL actually widens, as promoted clubs won't get as much money, which should normally be used to buy better players so they can compete. And current Premier League clubs have said if there were no parachute payments, they'd actually invest less, which would harm the quality of the top flight. And if clubs don't invest, then you'll get exactly what the EFL don't want, which is the same 3 clubs going down every year. And remember when Cardiff's owners changed the club's colours and badge? Well, in future, fans will have to approve any major changes to their club's heritage. Now, that might all sound great, but do we really need it? Some say the downfall of Reading and Bury is an exception, not the rule. So as a whole, the most successful footballing pyramid in world football doesn't need regulation. They say it scares investors who can help grow the game. If those investors go elsewhere, well, the Premier League may no longer be the destination for the best players in the world. And others, well, they just don't trust politicians to appoint truly independent people to regulate our game.
Well, welcome to the final word with me, Rory Jennings, alongside former Crystal Palace and Newcastle player Darren Ambrose. Right now, we're the only place on national radio taking your calls, so keep them coming in. 03717 223344. That is the phone number to call, and you could be live on the radio imminently. 03717 223344. Soon, we're going to look ahead to a huge game on Tuesday night as Arsenal host Aston Villa in a title clash. And there could be another big managerial change at the London Stadium. But now it's time for the best quiz on the radio. It's called the Mystery Football Song Quiz. It's clever, that. Who came up with that? That's very, very impressive. Right, it's very simple to play. All you need to do is tell us which famous footballer is linked to these 3 songs. Remember, it can be the clubs that he's played for, a nickname, or even a famous number. So DJ Marco, let's drop the song montage.
She's a perfect 10, but she wears a 12. Baby, keep a little 2 for me. Barcelona, it was the first night that we met. Barcelona, love's got the world in motion, and I can't believe it's true.
Okay, let's have a think. Let's have a think. We've got the perfect 10, the beautiful South. We've got Barcelona, Freddie Mercury. We've got a classic, World in Motion, New Order, Keith Andrews and John Barnes.
Songs going on there as well, weren't there?
Yeah.
Perfect 10. Amazing. Did we guess this or the listeners guess this?
I mean, we can have a go. We can have a go.
You know it?
Look, so you're looking for a number 10, perfect 10, a number 10 who played for Barcelona. I don't quite see the link to World in Motion, New Order. World in Motion was what? England 1990, Italian 1990.
Yep.
John Barnes rapping. John Barnes rapping. John Barnes didn't play. John
Nope.
Barnes didn't play for Barcelona.
So who played for Barcelona?
Barcelona number 10s. Who's your
number 10?
Number 10 for Barcelona. It's going to be a number 10 for Barcelona.
Is it an
probably
England
in
number
1990.
10?
What?
That played for Barcelona.
It could be an English player who played for Barcelona in 1990. When did Gary Lineker go to? Is it?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. When did Gary Lineker play for?
Got to be Lineker.
Got to be.
He's number 10 for England, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Number 10, not position number 10. He was the number 10.
I don't know. Do you know
Sure
that
he
kind
was.
of numbers? I'm terrible with that. Apart from Frank Lampard playing number 8, I don't know what number anyone was. Honestly, it's like my Achilles heel.
Gary Lineker.
I've got no interest. Okay, Gary Lineker is our answer, but if you think you know the answers to the mystery quiz, which we've potentially just ruined, give us a text, 81089, or WhatsApp us for free, 03717 223344.
We just ruined it for him.
I think you probably have, yeah. I think we might have we might need another one.
Be.
DJ Marco might have to get working. Oh, we've got it wrong. We've thrown everyone down the garden path. Right now, before we start talking about the title race, we've asked for Leeds fans to call in, and you didn't disappoint. Let's speak to Ben, the Leeds United fan. Ben, congratulations.
Hey, Ben.
How's things, gents? You well? You good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
How are you?
I mean, not as well as you, neither of us. You're flying, aren't you? This is dream come true territory.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you could say that. Well, actually, I want to say first thing, before I come off slightly off topic, I want to just mention about Archie Gray, because obviously he's a bit of a Leeds United great, given, his uncle, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. His uncle. Fantastic. So I'm really, really proud of him. And he's ecstatic about today scoring that goal. And so big shout for him, see if he's listening. And also with the whole thing of, he's got to be, isn't he? Who doesn't listen to talkSPORT? Absolutely. What's the other thing? So, Calvert-Lewin, fantastic. I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried because I was saying to a few of my friends, I play football quite regularly myself, not at a competitive level, but we all think we are, you know what I mean? But anyway, regardless, let me waffling on. So I said to these boys, I said, look, what do you think about Calvert-Lewin? That's got to be a shout, isn't it? Because I thought he was pretty good at Everton, apart from when, of course, he got injured, which is part of the game. So and people are ruling him out, saying, if you can keep him fit, if you can. It was almost that was the conversation. And I thought, no, actually, I hope this guy does this now. I know I'm a Leeds fan, I can be biased about saying that, but actually I thought, no, you've got to give this guy some credit. He's a good footballer. And I'm really grateful that, I know he's in a Leeds shirt, so I can say that, but the fact that he is now doing what he's doing, he's come back from injury, and it hasn't fazed him at all, and it just clicks, and I'm really pleased for him, and I really do hope he goes to the World Cup. That's what I really want to say on that.
Ben,
really.
what is he doing? What is he doing now that he perhaps wasn't doing at the start of the season? Of course, he was low on confidence, I feel, when he arrived, but what's the difference in him now?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's just got to know the lads, I think. I don't know. It's a scary one. I mean, I'll tell you what. I know it sounds silly because I'm not even an amateur footballer. I wish I was a bit more than I do play. I only play with the lads, messing about on a Friday evening or whatever. But when you play with a group of players who are good, but actually you don't know them, it's quite frustrating. And actually you want to do your thing. And if they don't know how you do your thing, it can be really frustrating, and you can actually your game can be impacted. I do believe that. But I play with another group regularly, weekly, and I know how these guys play, and a lot of them are better footballers than me. But I know that they know where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to, because I'm a bit hit and miss. But when it comes off, it comes off.
I think you need a bit more confidence.
Are you trying to get an agent here? You're just talking about. Yeah, he wants to get a game at Gloucester City. What's going on?
No, I'll be honest. No, it's just I've got this weird thing about philosophy. I'm absolutely addicted to the game, and as a neutral, I'm going to.
I'm just going to have to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, Ben, but we have to cross immediately to Alexandra Palace, to Ian Danter at the darts.
Fantastic performance from Gian van Veen, the number 10 seed. The young Dutchman is through. He's beaten Matas Razma of Latvia by 4-1. He took out a 1-2-5 outshot to clinch the match. Even Darren Ambrose would have struggled with Van Veen at his best, nudging 100 with his average. Razma tried his best, got a few 180s in there, but it was inevitable really once Van Veen found his range that he was going to make it through. He will take on the winner of Ricky Evans and Charlie Manby, who play tomorrow. Next up on the stage, Alexandra Pallett, it's the former world champion Luke Humphries against the former semi-finalist here, Gabriel Clements. That game will be live on the talkSPORT app, on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page, and on talkSPORT 2.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this New Year's Eve. Party at one of our New Year's Eve events. 34 locations across the UK. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Thank you very much for that, Ian Danton. Now let's go back to Ben. Ben, tell us more about your footballing career.
Yeah, so as I was just saying, so listen to me. I could speak all night, honestly, mate. You got other callers, I know. But no, honestly, I honestly do believe that because he's had the opportunity now, I think he's got to know the lads. I mean, when it clicks for Leeds. And this is what I love about the side. We can be horrific or we can be very, very good. But at the moment, I would say we're very, very good. Bearing in mind we're playing in the best league I think there is. I think being a bit biased myself again, but you know, given the fact that just because we've come up, the idea is, oh yeah, well, all these three teams that come up, they should just go back down. But actually, no. I think this is for a neutral at least. It's what we want to see. We want to see teams fighting. We want to see Sunderland up there like they are. We want to see Leeds pushing. And I'm happy, great, of course, because my team's going to stay in the top flight, I hope. But actually, it's all about communication. It's the philosophy is so deep, isn't it? That when the players are on the pitch, they got to be mates, but they don't have to get along. They just got to know how each other play. They don't even have to talk to each other. As long as they know where someone's going to be, where they need to be, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I've got existential there, Ben. They haven't got to be mates. They've just got to get along.
Absolutely, but But the most important thing is they don't need to be mates. They just need to know where they're going to be at the time when they look up. You know what I mean? If Wilfred Nonto's on the left and they know for a fact he's just going to be a workhorse and he's going to be wherever he's going to be. They know that if he's going to be there, put the ball there and he'll get it, right? I know it sounds simplistic, doesn't it? But actually, no, it doesn't. Because if you play with these boys regularly, especially if you're training with them, you can do all sorts of things. I really do believe it.
Ben, this is amazing. I've never known anyone be able to talk at such a rapid rate without coming off for air.
So confident, but then so not confident
so
about your own abilities.
self-deprecating at the same time. Yeah,
when I've got the ball at my feet, I think the boys, if they're listening now, honestly, they'll be wetting themselves, right? So when I've got the ball at my feet, they call me Bambi. I won't say about the other bit because I can be a bit naughty with the ball as well. But I'll do something, and then sometimes I think, well, that came off. Because you put yourself under so much pressure, it comes off. It looks great, right? But
because you know the team you're playing with is obviously the better positions you're going to be in.
Darren Ambrose, this is amazing. You've actually made sense out of this. That is the best analysis I've ever heard you deliver. Because I haven't got a clue what's going on here.
Boys, I'm going to have to listen to this back because I ain't got a clue what I've just said. But no, I know what I mean.
Mate, Ben, it's been an honour to speak to you. Fantastic work. And do you know what? Within that,
that's my favourite call.
I like how there were the parallels. He was talking about Leeds United, but kept drawing parallels of his five-a-side team.
But he was so confident and then saying I'm rubbish.
Deprecated at the same time.
But I'm really good. I don't play often, but I play every day.
Do you know what I think though? I think that we can learn and understand a little bit about Leeds from that crazy call. Yeah, They're just buzzing. They're just buzzing. They're over the moon.
They're just a crazy team at the moment, aren't they?
Crazy team.
Some crazy form.
And they call him Bambi, so there we go.
The other thing they call him, though.
No, so there we go. Right, next up, we're going to be talking about the huge title clash on Tuesday. Arsenal, Aston Villa fans, we really do want to hear from you. Tell us how you were feeling ahead of Tuesday night's game. 03717 223344 is the phone number to call. This is the final word on talkSPORT.
She's a perfect 10, but she wears a 12. Baby, keep a little 2 for me. Barcelona, it was the first night that we met. Barcelona, love's got the world in motion, and I can't believe.
They are the 3 songs, and loads of people are getting it right away. If you know who our mystery footballer is, text 81089 or WhatsApp for free 03717 223344. Now, let's look ahead to a huge Premier League game. We will start with Arsenal versus Aston Villa. This could be, am I right here, Darren, to position this as a potential title decider? Will it indicate at least? I'll tell you what it will tell us. Is this fair? It will tell us if Villa are genuinely in a title race.
Before we talk about this game, why have we gone an hour and 50 minutes without talking about Chelsea?
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah,
we'll do that. Talk about Chelsea?
We'll do that because
I suppose we could
it
kind of
coincides
tie it
with
Villa.
Aston Villa, don't it?
Yeah, I mean,
what is going wrong with Chelsea? They obviously lost 2-1 to Aston Villa, who were 11 wins in a row, by the way, absolutely outstanding. But Chelsea have only won 1 in 6.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Do you know what? Again,
are they out the top 4 now?
I don't know. Yeah, look, our ambition now is simply Champions League qualification. We're 5th in the league at the moment.
Yep.
But do you know what? And I don't know if this
Level
is
on
because
points with Manchester United.
I've still got a little bit of festive spirit. The New Year's approaching.
No, you haven't.
New man. Right, I'm trying to be a new man. I'm trying to have a kinder outlook and just adopt a glass half full mentality. My approach to this game now: Chelsea lost to Aston Villa.
Yep.
Of course we did. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Unai Emery is a top tier manager. And Enzo Maresca is effectively a B-Tech version of Pep Guardiola.
Really?
Yeah, of course. If you're annoyed at Chelsea losing that game,
yeah,
it's foolish. It would be like being annoyed. It would be like being annoyed at Jake Paul for losing to Anthony Joshua. One is a professional at the top of his game with the trophies to back it up. The other one is a pretender. Enzo Maresca is Jake Paul.
Yep.
And he's come up against Unai Emery, who is the governor.
Wow.
That's what it is, isn't
To be fair, I heard you last night at the Rory Jennings show. See that little plug there, Rory?
Love that.
The caller called up and said he'd get rid of him right now, bring JT back till the end of the season, then have Frank Lampard.
Yeah. That's emotion. Right?
Is that emotion?
I think that's emotion. Look,
Frank Lampard. Would you swap Enzo Maresca for Frank Lampard now?
Yeah, I would. But I always would. I'm probably the wrong person to ask here. Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is Chelsea's greatest ever player. Yeah. It's not I remember when Solskjaer was at Manchester United and Lampard was at Chelsea, and the comparisons were drawn. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's contribution to Man United.
Yep.
But he's probably in their top 30 greatest players of all time. Frank Lampard is Chelsea's greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
There should be a stand called the Frank Lampard stand.
Yeah.
We should have a statue built. So, of course, I'm always going to welcome Frank Lampard back to Chelsea with open arms. If you're making it a direct comparison of managers, look, that first season following Chelsea under Lampard, it was sensational.
Yeah.
It really was. Over Christmas, we went away to Tottenham and away to Arsenal in consecutive weekends. We won both. It was brilliant. We did that in the same season as Eden Hazard left. We didn't have a transfer window because we were banned. And Frank Lampard effectively took our youth team to the top 4 of the Premier League, to the FA Cup final, and to the last 16 of the Champions League. So, yeah, I think Lampard is certainly comparable to Maresca. But it's probably not the right time. Look, he's doing a wonderful job at Coventry. He's breaking records there at the moment. He doesn't need to leave. But keeping it strictly focused on Maresca, I don't rate him. I don't particularly like him. But I don't particularly want him sacked either. It's just the whole situation at Chelsea now under this ownership just leaves me cold.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible situation because under normal circumstances, I either love or despise our managers.
Yeah.
Like, I desperately want Rafael Benitez out of the club, and I desperately want Jose Mourinho to not be sacked after we draw with Rosenborg. I don't care about this. I don't care about Enzo Maresca because he is nothing but a mere pawn. Yeah. He's
to bring it back to Aston Villa, obviously the game yesterday.
They were so good that second half.
Chelsea dominated the first half. So what was the difference? Unai Emery made a couple of changes. Is that what you're saying in terms of the novice and the master? He made changes to change and affect the game.
Darren, you played the game at the top level, so you'll be more suited to answer this. But I can't think of an example of a manager winning a game of football where it's so clearly the manager. So, like, I don't know, think about another game that was played yesterday. Think about Man City. Man City won at Nottingham Forest. Guardiola did his bit. But if you talk about why City won the game, you basically talk about Ray and Shirky, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of a game this season, and then maybe anybody listening will be able to help me out, where you can so clearly trace the result of the game back to the brilliance of the manager. Unai Emery made a triple substitution, and all of a sudden, Chelsea's entire equilibrium was rocked. It was so obviously one manager outthinking another manager and winning his team the 3 points.
Is that just experience?
Yeah, I think it's just being a better
manager.
I think Unai. I've got quite a lot of stick on this very station recently because I've been sort of talking about how highly I rate Unai Emery. I think Unai Emery is a class above any other manager in the league aside from Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, don't compare Pep Guardiola to managers managing at the moment. Compare Pep Guardiola to Sir Alex Ferguson, to Arrigo Sacchi, to whoever you want, but not normal managers. Comparing normal managers, Unai Emery is the best manager in the league, no doubt. And we saw it at Stamford Bridge. That's why Aston Villa are potentially in a title race. That's why they are breaking records. They've won, 10 in a row?
11
in a row, obviously beating us. They've won 11 in a row. I think they've won 16 out of 18 if you go all comps.
Yep.
And if they beat Arsenal, if they win two trips to London, coming to London to play Chelsea, coming to London a few days later to play Arsenal, if they come out of those two games with maximum points, they are serious contenders for the Premier League title.
You know what? It's crazy because I would have never said they were. I don't think anyone would have said after the first 4 games of the season, they drew 0-0 to Newcastle. They lost 1-0 to Brentford. They lost 3-0 to Crystal Palace at home. Then they drew 0-0 to Villa. They didn't score a goal in the first 4 games. Then I was there. I was at Brentford. I covered their game in the League Cup. I think Harvey Elliott scored a goal where he scuffed his shot and it went underneath the goalkeeper. They ended up losing on penalties to Brentford. They then drew to Sunderland away and then went on a run of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including beating Tottenham in that. 6, 7, they beat Man City and then they lost to Liverpool. And since then, on the 1st of November, they've won 11 in a row.
Yeah.
A turnaround from Aston Villa compared to the start of the season.
It's a little bit, it mirrors what happened at Stamford Bridge. It's kind of a microcosm of what happened at Stamford Bridge. At Stamford Bridge, the first half, they were dominated in the way that they were dominated for the first 4 games of the season. Suddenly, Emery assesses the situation, makes some tweaks, makes some personnel changes, and they don't look back.
It's an incredible run of form, by the way.
Watkins, Onana, Sancho. Those 3 players.
Arsenal. They'll be behind them on goal difference, so they'll be on the same points, 42 points. If Man City then go to Sunderland and win, Man City go into the new year at top.
Man City, which is symbolic. It's symbolic. Although, do you know what? I looked at this because I was thinking that, like, you know, being top on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Being top on Christmas Day has absolutely no relevance to winning the league. It's surprising how few teams have been top Christmas Day have actually lifted the title. New Year's Day is a little bit different, I think. But it would be symbolic, wouldn't it? If Arsenal go into the new year not top, considering everything that they've done, considering the run that they were on, considering their dominance.
Yeah. Well,
but it looks ominous. It does look ominous for Arsenal.
Because we say they would go in top, but Man City obviously go to Sunderland on the 1st of January on Thursday.
With the opportunity.
To go top, which you'd expect them to win that. I know Sunderland have been fantastic this season, got the draw today at home to Leeds, but you'd expect Manchester City to win. That may not happen. So Manchester City would go into the new year essentially being top of the league.
With that pressure, therefore, on Arsenal and Villa, but certainly on Arsenal, what do you think the score will be? Who do you think comes out victorious at the Emirates tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a pivotal game. And I say that because Unai Emery back at the Emirates as well, where, look, for whatever reason, it didn't work out for him. Mikel Arteta is a better manager for Arsenal than Unai Emery is for Arsenal. I think Aston Villa go there and win.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair way to put it, by the way. In terms of who's a better manager, if you're neutral about it and you just go, who's a better manager overall?
Yeah.
Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta, there is no comparison. It's Unai Emery by an absolute mile.
Yep.
But in terms of being a better manager for Arsenal, I think Arsenal fans will argue that they are happy with their choice. They are happy with what Arteta
I think that's a valid argument as well.
Yeah.
Do I think Unai Emery would have turned it around and done special things at Arsenal? Yes, I do.
Do you think Unai Emery would have won a league title if Arsenal didn't sack him?
Yeah.
You think they would have won a league title by now?
I do. I think they'd have got one of those over the line.
Yeah.
I just think he has the nous behind him. He has the experience. He has that winning mentality. And I'm not saying Mikel Arteta doesn't, but I think
he doesn't have it.
He'd have done enough.
Yet.
He'd have done enough. But look, they're happy with the change. They're happy with Mikel Arteta. But I think he would have turned that around.
Also, every time when you think about like significant fixtures where they've come up against each other, like Villarreal going to the Emirates and stopping Arsenal doing anything in Europe. A couple of years ago, 2023, it was the Aston Villa. Do you remember? Arsenal went on an amazing run.
Yep.
They came back from Dubai. Ben White became one of the best players in the league.
Yep.
They won 17 out of 18. The only one they didn't win was Unai Emery and Aston Villa visiting.
You just said it there. The pressure. Now we've got a few Arsenal supporters in the back staff.
Not half.
Tech ops
Not half. We don't.
I mean, I say a few. A lot more than a few. It's sickening actually when we come in here, isn't it? But some of them are saying, "I don't even want to go to the Emirates. I don't want to go there."
Yeah.
Because they're that nervous.
The thing is, though, they're playing like they're nervous, but they keep winning.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised.
Does that catch up with you, though? I know everyone says it's a sign of champions, it's a sign of a good team that you win when you're not playing particularly well.
Yeah.
Can that catch up with you?
What I think they're doing, it's all a little bit early. Like Arsenal, it feels to me like Arsenal are playing and they're getting over the line, they're inching over the line, they're finding a way to get over the line, and that's very impressive. 5 games from the end of the season. You know, if they were putting in these performances where it's all a bit clunky and they get a last-minute winner against Wolves, if you're doing that 5 games before the end of the season when nothing else matters apart from the 3 points, I think it's fine.
I think with Aston Villa, no one's expecting them. I'm not saying it's as big as Leicester, or it will be, but no one's expecting them. No one expected them to be up there. No. Never mind get as close to be called title contenders in coming into January. But with Arsenal, there's so much pressure that one player missing, Declan Rice missing, their whole season comes crumbling down.
Yeah, I think there is the reason why there is such expectation on Arsenal, though, and I think that they have to do it this year, is because they've been so close time after time after time. Like they have to get over.
If they don't do it this year, he goes, right?
I think so, because this is the first time I think that we can say this totally fairly. This is the first time that Mikel Arteta has got the best squad in the league. He's certainly got the best 11 in the league. He's now got the best squad in the league. He's waited for ages to have a better team than Pep Guardiola. He's now got a better team than Pep Guardiola. Arguably had a better team than them last year. And Arne Slot got ahead of him. At some point, he has to get it over the line.
So they're top of the league. They're going to be top no matter what happens. Click over into January.
Yeah, but not that fixture. Not that game week.
Yeah, not game week, but they'll be top.
Yeah.
They'll be top of the Champions League table.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-final of the League Cup. What's successful?
Arsenal need to win one of the 2 major trophies.
Champions League or League?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
I think
they can't keep saying we're progressing.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what though? I think sometimes it doesn't happen often in football. Generally, when a manager leaves a club, it's generally because of a sacking, and it's generally done. But there is such a thing where you can almost shake hands and say thank you. You've taken us as far as you can, and I wonder if it would be that with Arteta.
No,
look, you're not a finisher. You're not the man to get us over the line. You're the Claudio Ranieri before Jose Mourinho came in.
This is the year. This is the year, and I agree with you. They have to. The League Cup's not enough for me. They have to get one of the big ones. And isn't it amazing? A Spurs and a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah. I can't tell you.
Counting them out of the title
it's horrible.
race.
It's horrible that Chelsea is so average. It's horrible the way that Chelsea are run. It's horrible to Chelsea ownership at the moment. But what it's done, it means I don't really have pressure on my own club.
Yeah.
So I can almost focus on supporting
Villa.
Whoever Arsenal are playing. I could get a season ticket in the Arsenal away end. I'd be happy in there every week. I could just support whoever Arsenal are playing.
Brilliant.
That is certainly my priority at the moment. Now, Arsenal are taking on Aston Villa, and it is live and exclusive on talkSPORT this Tuesday. One of 10 games live across the talkSPORT network this week. Check out our website, talksport.com, for more details. And if you want some more post-Christmas cheer in your life, celebrity Nottingham Forest supporter and comedian Matt Ford's brilliant new podcast, How to Win the World Cup, is available to listen to via the talkSPORT app. But coming up next, we turn that cheer to jeers as West Ham United fans get in touch and talk about their loss at the London Stadium to put Nuno Espirito Santo under huge pressure. This is the final word on talkSPORT.
$26K for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Now, talkSPORT is already looking ahead to an exciting year that is 2026, and we are giving you the chance to win a massive £26,000. What better way to kick off 2026 than with some serious cash? Yes, you heard it right, 26 grand.
Yes, it's our biggest New Year cash giveaway, and it could be yours. It's 26,000 for 2026, and here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN, WIN, to 83338. That's 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or you can call 0343 423 9761. I'll repeat that. It's 0343 423 9761. Line closes at 12 p.m, 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. That's UK residents only, 18 plus. It's a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. And good luck.
That sounds incredible. What we're going to do now, Darren, is we're going to go straight back to the calls. Let's hear what Rash has to say. Rash, you're a Man City fan.
Hey, Rash.
And City are going to win the league this year. I feel it coming.
Weirdly, that's not a bold statement, to be honest, is it? You're 2 points behind, Rash.
And Arsenal are going to boss it again. I don't think they're looking convincing.
If you get ahead, Rash, if you get ahead, if whatever happens, as soon as you get ahead, you think that's it, done.
Yeah, because Arsenal, they're not coming back. Look at City, the best squad in the world. Come on.
What is it about City that makes you so confident?
Look at your squad.
What is it, Rash? Is it Arsenal's fragility that we've seen over the years, or is it something about City that you see that you think is unstoppable?
The thing is, Arsenal, look at all these own goals, these 2-1 wins. Look at City, last game 3-0 before the 2-1. Like City, they've actually been winning convincingly. They're playing well. They're working together as a team.
But
no injury.
Is there not an argument, though, Rash? Obviously, Haaland's scoring a lot of goals. Foden, I think Foden's got 10 goals this season as well. But after that, there's 2s and 3s next to people's names. What if one of those gets injured?
Yeah, we've got Haaland. All we need is Haaland. Look at Haaland.
Yeah, that's true. With Erling Haaland in the team, anything is possible.
All we need is Haaland.
We
like
now
a song, that.
Have a next caller who's coming in, and I am honoured to say, all rise. It's Anthony Costa
I love what you've
Blue.
done there. Love what you've done there.
Anthony,
I love what you've done there, Rory.
How are you?
I love what you've done there, mate. I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm
How you
good.
doing, Ant? Was you at the game?
I'm good. Nah, mate. I was washing my hair. That's how. No, I'm doing a show at the moment. I'm doing panto up in near Dartford, actually.
I love that.
So I watched it in between shows. Yeah, it was just a tough game, wasn't it? It was one of them tough place to go sort of vibe games, and got the job done. But mate, I was bored. I'll be honest with you, I was bored.
Does that matter, Anthony? To anyone listening, this is Anthony Costa from Blue, who's a big Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
Just to ask you, Anthony, you know you're talking about the boredom there. You won the game. Yeah. Is winning in itself not entertaining?
Right, Rory, 100%, mate. Right, so I'm about to come into that. I look, by hook or by crook, you got to win, right? If you get over the line, that's what matters, right? The 3 points is what matters, and that's what I've always said. Okay, when we had Mourinho and we won games 1-0, Conte 1-0s, I was buzzing. But then some Spurs fans were like, yeah, but that's not the Tottenham way. We need to be front foot, attack. And I'm like, so you'd rather lose 6-5 and score 5 goals and be entertained, or win 1-0 and get 3 points? Now, I'm looking at it now from that perspective of I want to be entertained, right? And I'm sitting there going, what do we want as fans? And as you said, 3 points is 3 points. Today was a game with Messi, post-Christmas, anything could have happened. You know, I had Mateta down scoring a header from a corner in my group chats, you know, losing 1-0. You know, 'cause it could have been one of them games. Okay, we won, got over the line. But I haven't enjoyed Spurs for at least 2 or 3 seasons, man. And forget what happened in May, right? Amazing. It was the best day. We won a trophy. It was amazing. But as a whole, the Premier League games and everything, I wasn't excited at all. And I, for one, wanted Thomas Frank to work, and I still do. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't see an identity what we're trying to do.
Yeah. That's the word, Anthony.
Has he had time, though, Anthony? Has he had time to instill his own identity? When you think about what a disaster Postecoglou left him.
No, he hasn't, mate, and he hasn't had time to do it. And this is my point, right? I'm talking on some Spurs fans that just want attack football. I want a manager that, if you're winning 1-0, shut shop for the last 10 minutes and win the game, right? Yep. But I've had arguments after arguments with fans over the years that just want to see free-flowing 8 games, 8 goals in a game. And I'm like, that's not real football.
You'll know that. That only works if you're winning. If you're winning 5-4, I was more entertained today winning 1-0 than I was when we lost 5-3 to PSG because we lost the game.
Exactly. And this is the thing, like, and you had some Spurs fans going, not everyone's got their opinion, and rightly so, but I want to be entertained. But football's not that all the time. I want a manager that, as I said, if you're winning 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1, you just shut shop. Get over the line. Yep. And today, okay, I was a bit bored, but it was just one of them games. But last season, bless him, if he didn't win the cup, it would have been the worst season ever as a Spurs fan in my history. So, we were lucky we won that cup. It wasn't a great game. But then I was like, okay, but we won the trophy 1-0. Yeah, but we won a trophy. I'm like, but it weren't a great game. Yeah, but we still won. And these are the same people that want to see 8 goals in a game.
Yep. So if it wasn't for Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, even with the trophy, it would have been the worst season because we'd have been relegated.
100%, Darren. 100%, mate. And I don't know what we want, man. And now January's around the corner. Who's going to come in? Are we going to find anyone? Is anyone going to be attracted to our club? We're just a mess, man. It just feels like a mess. Do you know what I mean?
Are you backing Thomas Frank? Do you think he's the man to get you out of this mess?
Rory, I don't know who else is out there, mate. I was listening to you boys on the way up here, way home, and there's no one else out there. So you have to have what you've got in front of you and just give him time. Yeah. We've got to give him to the end of the season. I said to you when we started talking, I, for one, was excited because I see what he did at Brentford. And if you put Brentford and Spurs players next to each other, you're going to say we've got a better squad, right? But it just seems now we've regressed a little bit. And I'm thinking, what is going on at Spurs, man? Is it the players? Is it the players' mentality?
It is the mentality. It's nerves.
100%.
They're all victims of last season and what happened. And look, however much people loved or disliked Ange Postecoglou, he put all his eggs in that basket in the Europa League, and he ended up winning it, which cost us the league campaign, which cost us confidence, which has obviously progressed into this season. And that's why I think the nerves and particularly home games, you obviously go to a lot more than I do, but the home games, there's a real element of negativity around.
Last season and this season especially, we've just stunk the place out. And it's just, we want to make Spurs a stadium a fortress, but we can't. There's no atmosphere. There's no buzz. I don't look forward to it. I've given my ticket away umpteen times this season. That's not me. No. I used to beg, borrow and steal for a ticket when I was a kid growing up. And now I've got the opportunity to go. I don't really go because I think I'm going to go there and see my team half-hearted, trying to play a bit of football and might win 1-0, might lose 3-1, might lose 1-0, and it's just that. Do you know what I mean? And I just haven't enjoyed us, man. And maybe I'm wrong saying it, but I don't know anything else. This club has done me big time. I don't know. It just does my head in.
It's fascinating to hear you speak as passionately as this, Anthony. There is certainly a problem going on in football at the moment. I mean, like the new stadium and whatever. When you think about what Tottenham were at the old grounds, when you think about how intimidating and intense that old stadium was.
Yeah. It certainly was.
People keep telling me how brilliant the new ground is. I'm like, I always prefer, give me a Loftus Road over a new Tottenham ground.
Yeah, man. All day long. I miss the old White Hart Lane, and I'm not actually saying it for people to say, what is he talking about? I miss that old White Hart Lane. I miss those concrete stairs going up and seeing the same old faces in the same old seats and et cetera, et cetera. And, losing, okay, you're going to win, lose or draw games. That's football, but I just miss that atmosphere. And unfortunately, we haven't got that at the stadium, and that's the truth.
Yeah, that is a fantastic call there.
Yeah, cheers,
Anthony Costa from Blue. It was a flyby call.
Yeah,
but it was Darren, mate. That's me at my best there. You miss it. Can't wasted on you. Absolutely,
flyby.
Absolutely wasted on you. But no, it was fascinating to hear Anthony talking about the perilous position that Tottenham find themselves in.
It's sad.
It is sad. I think there's an epidemic of that in football as well. You hear Anthony talking about what football was for him compared to what it is now, and I think that these new stadiums, they're not always what they should be. Now, still to come before we hand the baton over to the brilliant Trans-Europe Express, we will reveal who our mystery footballer is and look at the huge week of Premier League games coming up live right here on talkSPORT. That's next on The Final Word on talkSPORT.
She's a perfect 10, but she wears a 12. Baby, keep a little 2 for me. Barcelona, it was the first night that we met. Barcelona, love's got the world in motion, and I can't believe it's true.
Darren Ambrose, I can confirm that you got this right. Lots of people got it right, in fact, but the first person to text in with the correct answer was Danny, the Black Cabbie. So congratulations, Danny, you won that. Always nice to see it go to a Black Cabbie. I was brought up by a Black Cabbie. My dad was a Black Cabbie. Yeah? Yeah. Now, before we talk all things West Ham United, let's head to Ali Pali for a PDC World Darts Championship update from talkSPORT's Mark Wilson.
Yeah, former champion Luke Humphries leads the German giant Gabriel Clemens by 2-0. Clemens has not missed too many darts at double, but he's been punished when he has, including the opening set. Missed twice at the outer ring. Humphries stepped in to break the throw, and he did so again in the second set. It's a race to 4 sets for a place in the last 16 to face either Nathan Aspinall or Kevin Dukes. All the action live right now on the talkSPORT app and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel and on talkSPORT 2. Humphries leads Clemens by 2-0.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this New Year's Eve. Party at one of our New Year's Eve events. 34 locations across the UK. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Thank you very much, Mark. So we have saved our festive cheer to last as we turn our attention to the other end of the Premier League table, and it's been a really bad day at the office for West Ham United against Fulham as the hapless Hammers lost 1-0. They're in stuck, aren't they, Darren?
Yeah, I think they're struggling at the moment. What are they? They're on 30. Well, they're 5 points adrift at the moment, and you just can't see them picking up any points. You can't see them winning anything. I think yesterday, I don't know what Nuno is doing. I don't know why he's doing it, but who's West Ham's best player? Jarrod Bowen.
Yeah.
What's Jarrod Bowen's best position? Off the right.
Mm-hmm.
Play Jarrod Bowen up front.
Yeah.
He's not effective up front.
No, but there is, as a counter argument to that, is he not doing that because he's forced to do that because they don't have anyone else at
Callum
the club?
Wilson.
Yeah, but
I just don't.
Callum Wilson is the answer. I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but what is the question if Callum Wilson is the answer to that question?
Like the answer is that he is someone that allows their best player to play in their best, most effective position. And he didn't. Look, it's an experiment. I get that. He's experimented putting Jarrod Bowen up front. Ineffective. I felt for the young lad who gave gave the mistake away. And it showed that he cared. Showed a bit of passion. Yes, he'll learn from that. No one likes to see someone in tears at the end of the game, but he'll learn from that. It shows he cares about the football club. But at the moment, they're only going one way.
Do you know what? Right, West Ham they've only won 2 games at home this season. And you know, sometimes when we talk about football, right, we get a little bit clever with it and we're trying to find things. We're looking at XG charts and we're looking at all of these formulas that will tell us the answer. Sometimes, though, football's a really simple game. The reason why West Ham are in the relegation zone is because they have a very, very average team. Like, you look across that team, it is just distinctly average football after distinctly average football, and they're in a situation because of mismanagement from above where they are exactly where they should be. Like, Paquetá would be one of their best players, but he's incredibly frustrating. Every time I watch him, he seems to just give the ball away, constantly give the ball away.
Does he care enough, Paquetá?
I mean, I think it's all gone a little bit wrong for him. You know, Jarrod Bowen's been off form. The captain's armband, it clearly weighs heavy on him. I think it's taking its toll. And then I don't know what the answer is. You mentioned Callum Wilson. Is it Somerville? Somerville can't keep fit. I mean, you're looking at the answers in the midfield, and you've still got Thomas Souček around the team. You're relying on that kid, Potts. I just think that it's so clear.
It's hard. It's hard in the Premier League to rely on kids, which is essentially what they're doing at the moment. You look around their team, I think in January they need to make some signings. They really do. Whether they will, I don't think they will. I think they need a new goalkeeper. I really do. Maybe 2 centre-halves. I like Max Kilman, but maybe both centre-halves need to change. And
you go down with Max Kilman at the back, though.
Yeah.
You just go... I know, look, I appreciate that you will extend a courtesy to professional footballers because you're nicer than I am. But if Max Kilman is your answer, you're relegated.
I understand that, but we've seen Max Kilman play well with the right partner beside him.
Half a decade ago.
But with the wrong partner beside him, he doesn't play well. And what they need is experience. I know everyone looks at that, but they need experienced players. They've got Jarrod Bowen, they've got Paquetá, of course. But they need experience in the middle of midfield. Someone to control. They had Declan Rice. They were brilliant with Declan Rice. Look what he's gone on to do.
And they just didn't spend that money.
Replaced him with players that are not good enough.
It is terrible. And now talkSPORT understands that West Ham will consider changing the manager for a 3rd time this season if their form does not improve quickly. Sources have told talkSPORT that some of the West Ham hierarchy have also been left perplexed by Espirito Santo's reluctance to start with a recognised striker in his team.
Exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
And when you got Callum Wilson...
No, whatever's wrong. You know, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
You were to ask me to write 100 problems at West Ham United. I could write a list. 100 problems at the club, right? David Sullivan, Karen Brady. I could write 100 problems since they moved. The way that they have pulled the rug out from under their fans, the brilliance of the bowling. You think about the beauty of that stadium, and now they're playing in the worst stadium in the country. The over-sanitisation of that stadium, the over-sanitisation of their sport. I could write 100 things wrong with West Ham. I don't think I mentioned Nuno Espirito Santo.
Really?
Whatever you think of Espirito Santo, whatever you think of how good he is, he's clearly the best manager that West Ham United can get.
Yeah, but the buck stops to the manager in every walk of life, especially in football.
Or the board.
Or the board, but the board ain't going to change there. The manager will.
The manager.
He'll get a payoff. He'll get a nice, comfortable little payoff again.
Yeah. Do you honestly think that there is a world where they could improve?
No.
With a new manager, though?
No. I think they need serious help in the January transfer window with players coming in. But who are they going to attract?
I think it's a mess. But I think it's a mess because of mismanagement at boardroom level. Now, this has been emotional, Darren. Thank you.
Loved it, mate.
Thank you so much. And the talkSPORT Breakfast show returns on Monday morning, where Jess Stelling is alongside the former Aston Villa forward Gabby Agbon-Lahore. But if you need some music in your life, swipe across on the talkSPORT app to the Virgin Radio Breakfast Show. All the details are on our website, talksport.com. The final word returns next Sunday, but next up it's one of the best shows on the radio, as the brilliant Danny Kelly brings you the Trans Europe Express right here on talkSPORT.